Hi, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to come on today and do a video and sort of switch things around. I feel I've done many videos and I've seen many videos about us as mediums and how we're supposed to approach communication with the spirit world, spirit contacts for evidential mediumship, spirit controls for trance mediumship. So I wanted to sort of switch it and do everything from the perspective of the spirit world and how they view us and what they need from us and what they do um, to help us and awaken us, to awaken us on our spiritual path and development. I think the first thing that people need to understand about the spirit world is that it's a world of thought and a world of emotion. These spirit communicators that are coming and communicating through you for evidential mediumship, these are people. These are people just like you and I, except they don't have this physical body anymore. They've transitioned over to the spirit realm to go back home, but they are still people, but not in the physical sense. So when I do a mediumship reading, I do sort of try to move my awareness to the perspective of the spirit world. And I think about when I put myself in their shoes. Okay, so if I'm the medium, right, and you, or somebody is my sitter, and I start blending and I start feeling the presence of a mother figure stepping forward, I really try to think about this mother who's coming forward to speak through me to their child, the sitter in front of me. And how beautiful that is, and how excited they are, the spirit world, this mother, and how much gratitude she has for my development and for my bravery and my determination to be the best channel and vessel that I possibly can be for the spirit realm and for humanity, for sitters that come and work with me. But I really try to move in to this gratitude and also this excitement. They're happy. They're going to get to communicate with their child through me. And hopefully, if I do my job right, by the end of that session, they've proven to their child that they've survived so-called death, that they go on and they still have love for their child and they still watch over them and they still retain these memories and they will see and they will feel this healing that's happening through me, the medium, to the sitter, and how happy they are. I really try to think about the spirit world when I work with them, that it's a reunion, it's a happy occasion. It's the chance for them to work through the medium to bring through their evidence that they've survived death and they're whole and they're happy and they're healthy. Of course, not every relationship is a perfect relationship. They might come through with regret. They might come through with things that have been left unsaid, but that's also closure for the sitter and also for the spirit world, for the spirit communicator. But it's happy. It's a joyous occasion, right? So I mean, I'm going to say this, but I do mean this with complete respect. It's a spirit party. It's a party. Be happy. Be happy that you can take part in this party and you can take part in this healing and this love that's working through you. So be happy about it. Be grateful to the spirit realm that they are working with you, and be happy that, and I'm convinced of this, that in some way that sitter that has landed in front of you, I don't care if it's a professional reading, a semi-professional reading, a practice, a circle, a development group, it doesn't matter. But the spirit world have worked out a long time ago, I feel, that I am the right medium for that sitter. And they've given my name, or they've been able to figure out a way to drop my Facebook page, my website, in front of the sitter, and they have found me, or they have worked out that in a practice group, that in that breakout room, if you're doing it on Zoom, that I will land with that sitter. They've done all this. They've taken care of this. So there's a level of relief that, oh, finally I get to work through this channel, the medium, me, and I get to speak with my child. I get to talk to them. I get to channel my emotions through to reach them. This feeling of love, this feeling of gratitude, perhaps. This, perhaps, like I said before, it's not all perfect. No relationship is a perfect relationship. Maybe there's some things left unsaid. Maybe there's regret. Maybe now they're aware of what their actions caused. That's fine. But I will always try to give the spirit communicator the gift of my voice, because they don't have a voice here. The spirit world have no power here without us. So I'm giving myself to them. I'm giving everything I have in my development, in my unfoldment, in my time to attune with the spirit world, to build my own sensitivity and awareness to the presence of the spirit. And they will then work with me so I can do their job here. And it's really always, and I've said this before, but I feel it's worth repeating, the mantra that I always have when I go to work with the spirit world is, let me help you, spirit. Let me help you bring through what you need to bring through to your loved one, or perhaps guidance, perhaps counsel, I don't know, whatever they want to bring through. It's not up to me what they bring through. It's up to the spirit realm. So it's my job, I feel, that the spirit world will see me and say, okay, this dude here, this American sitting in Germany, has worked on his clairvoyance, so we can impress through him visions, has worked on his clairaudience, so we can speak through him, and he'll be able to hear our voice, perhaps an accent, perhaps music, perhaps sounds that are evidence of their lives. My clairsentience, so I can feel them and allow them to channel their emotions through me. My claircognizance, that they can drop in knowledge, and a lot of other clairs, like smells, perhaps, tastes. Listen, no one is the master of all the clairs, but I feel that if the spirit world can see, so he can understand at least that we're trying to move through him the smell of the favorite dish that I used to cook for the family, or how it tasted, or my perfume, or a cigar, or a cigarette, or it goes on and on. But that they can see, this is a well-rounded vessel. So he'll know what I'm trying to impress through him, to then I can pass it on to the sitter, their loved one. But they will know. And if it doesn't matter if I really just work with my clairvoyance, my clear seeing, my spirit eyes, then they will channel as much evidence as they can through my spirit eyes. That's fine. But I think these spirit communicators, these spirit people, they're just like me. They might have the ability to impress through my clairaudience better than they could the clairvoyance, or the clairsentience, or the claircognizance. So I just want to be able to work with them in whatever they want to work with me. And like I said, no one's telling you to be the master of all the clairs, but I think you have to understand all the clairs. I'm smelling something, but I'm not understanding what I'm smelling. And then maybe they'll show you something. But I think it's important to let the spirit world see that you are working with all cylinders firing, right? And they'll see that in your aura. I do think you can see in people's auras where their clairs are, and if they're what clairs are dominant for them. And I'm sure the spirit will see that. The spirit world, they respond to me and they relate to me as spirit. They don't see this. They don't see that I'm this white guy from America holding an American passport, blah, blah, blah. They don't see any of this. They don't see how old I am, thank God. They don't see anything in terms of the physicality of the shell that my spirit is encased in. They see my spirit, and it's a world of thought, so they know exactly where my mind is and what my intentions are. And I feel if they can feel and know that my intentions are pure, that my only intention is to be of service and to help spirit and to help God, the creator, and to help humanity, they will be attracted to my light and they will work through me more and want to help me more because light attracts like attracts light and like. So I want to be a being of service and to help and not have sort of like an ulterior motive that it's going to pump up my ego, that I'm waiting for compliments. Of course, I want to do a good job, but I don't need to hear that as much as I probably used to. I can only do the best job I can do today. Perhaps tomorrow will be better. Hopefully, tomorrow will be better. But they can see what my intentions are and they can feel if I'm a being of light and of service like they are, and I want to help. So I do everything that I can with my development and my unfoldment to constantly reach out and say, just let me help you. However you need to help, however you need to work through me, let me help. And they will guide you and they will help you. They will always help you. I really do feel that the spirit realm, I'm going to move away from just the spirit communicator and just go to the sort of the collective energy of the spirit in the spirit realm. I believe that they are always inspiring us. They're always planting through our subconscious, through our spirit, um, signals and information and sort of pushing us forward that we might think, oh, now I just want to start moving into healing. I don't believe that's a coincidence. I think that the spirit will concede this is a healer. We're going to start inspiring him or her to move into healing, to start studying to be a trance healer, a spirit healer, energy healer, whatever, life healer, it doesn't matter. And then they will help you. If you then can realize that you're being inspired and you're being nudged to move into another direction with your mediumship, once you get on that path, they will start putting things in front of you, the right books, the right teachers, the right practice groups, but you have to get on the right path. It's all free will. You can do what you want. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to move. You can stay still, but I much rather continue to progress and evolve with the help of spirit and the power of spirit. I do believe all of mediumship is powered by spirit and by God. So I rather just allow them to move me in a direction that they deem me right for. The spirit world will always come with their own needs and their own wants. And as a channel and as a vessel, because that's what a medium is, that's what a healer is, your own wants and needs shouldn't really enter this equation. You should really just allow them to dictate what the sitter needs, what the sitter might want, what the sitter needs to heal. But as a channel and a vessel, if I impose my own needs and my own wants, I'm going to be great and I'm going to get all the evidence right and they're going to love me and I'm going to get good reviews and I'm going to get more work and I want to bring through memories and I want to bring through names. All that's great. You should always want to bring through as much as you possibly can, but the spirit world is going to dictate that, not you in a particular reading. So just allow them to guide you. And I said before, they look at us as spirit. They see us as spirit going through this classroom in the matter world on Earth. We're all, I believe, children to them. Our spirit has not been set free yet. That happens when we pass, and then everything changes, I believe, and as I've been told. But they take care of us and they will help us. So when you're doing your evidential readings, think about these spirit communicators as real people. It's not just some ambiguous energy floating around that you can't grab onto. They are full people, but not human anymore. They are beings of light and love and emotion and thought, but they're not sort of hooked into the physical realm anymore. So allow them to just push you forward and feel their love and feel their inspiration to push you forward and to cheer you on. Uh, I feel the spirit world, what they really want from us is to just sit and attune with them, to sit and attune to the energy of the spirit, to get to know them better as they get to know us better, because then this transference of energy starts to happen back and forth, and you start building this relationship. You have to have a relationship with the spirit realm to be a good medium or healer, I feel. There's an order to it, there's a logic to it. It's not really in the way we think, in this linear way of thinking, but there is a logic to it, and you have to build the relationship. It's the laws of cause and effect. The more love you give out, the more love you get. The more you want to give, the more you receive. The more help you want to give everybody, the more help they'll come on behind you, and they'll just push you forward and help you. But they see us for how we truly are, with our essence, which is our spirit. So they will know what the intentions are. So the intention, I feel, should always be just to help and to be of service. And then everything else will start to fall into place. But of course, you have to take mediumship classes. Of course, you have to work on your development. You have to understand the mechanics of mediumship, which is a spirit to spirit communication. You have to understand when they're bringing through evidence through your objective clairs or your subjective clairs. You have to understand that you have to have, the foundation has to be pretty stable. But once you understand mediumship and you get that it has to be about love, it should always be about healing, it should always be purposeful, and the sitter should always be left after the reading feeling uplifted with closure, and you understand how mediumship works in general. I think mediumship is unique to each one of us, and we each experience spirit differently. But then just give it up to spirit and let them teach you, and they will show you what they need you to do. And I really do feel and believe that the spirit world wants you to be brave, and they want you to try. Be brave enough to fail, okay? Because there is no failure. If you try, you can't fail. So I mentioned you shouldn't really want to get names. I don't mean it like that. I think if they give you a name, you should give it. But that's the thing I hear from a lot of people that I have the honor and pleasure of working with. I want to be good with names. I want to get names. I want to get names. Like, well, do you get names? Yes, but I don't give them because I know they're wrong. I mean, just give them. How can you know if they're right if you don't give them? So if I'm doing a mediumship reading, I keep hearing the name Dave, Dave. But in my conscious mind, in my human side, I'm like, oh, I stink at names. I can't give names. I'm not going to give the name Dave. And then at the end of the reading, it was a good reading, and I don't know, it was a friend that came through, or a brother, or whoever, and thank you, that was great, Joseph. The evidence, I understood everything, and it was perfect. And then I'll just ask about what was their name, and this, oh, David. And I'm like, oh, I knew that. Oh, I didn't give it, but it doesn't matter at that point. If you didn't give it, they didn't receive it. So in my mind, that's lost evidence. Except in your mind, hopefully, then you're like, okay, I'm just going to be brave with this. So to give names, the spirit world, I believe they'll work with you in the way that they feel that is the most beneficial to their energy, because I do feel it takes a lot of energy for them to communicate with us and through us. So if they know you're brave enough to try to give names and to just give what you get, and even if you're doing a reading and you're hearing Jane, Jane, and you give the name Jane, and the sitter can't take Jane, that's okay. You tried, but and then you might ask the sitter after, what was this lovely woman's name? And they say, oh, Pam. I'm like, oh, so it's nothing like Jane, but it's still a one syllable name. So the spirit world knows, at least he's understanding that we are trying to bring through a name. So now they have to now change how they're working with you and how they're bringing this evidence through, and they can start to maybe jigger some stuff around. And now at least I know, okay, at least I know how it feels to receive a name. It wasn't the right name, okay, but at least I'm trying. Because if you don't give it, I do think the spirit world will stop um, using their energy to provide a name if they know you're not going to give it. Why bother? They might as well just siphon and channel the energy to your clairvoyance more, and you can see things, or your clairaudience more, so you can hear things. But I don't think that no energy is usually wasted for spirit communication. So they will use what they need in the best way possible, in the most economic way, um, to bring through what they need to bring through that they know you'll give. But be brave with the names. Also, that goes with all any pieces of evidence. Just if you feel, if you know that this spirit communicator, this gentleman, worked with cars, just give it. Don't be afraid of no. They want you to try. They really do want you to be brave enough to fail, because that's the only way you're going to learn, and only way you're going to be able to shift your awareness and your sensitivity to get better evidence. But use them. They're there to help you. So they're not just throwing evidence out at you and just go, oh, see how you do with that guy. Go ahead, try it. Let's see how good you do. No, I don't think so. I think they're, if you give a piece of evidence and the sitter's like, no, I don't understand what you're saying at all. That makes no sense to me. Stay calm, and you can visualize handing this piece of evidence back to this communicator and see what they morph it and change it into, like a swing, right? And then give that and try that. But sometimes they have to change things around, and they have to sort of smooth out the edges and change how they're delivering the evidence to you. And then they learn to work with you better. And so it's not like the spirit communicator, your brother, does a reading with you, and he communicates all this evidence through. You give what you get. The reading is fine. I don't think he then just goes off to his spirit house and his spirit garden and that's it. I personally think they go and they speak to other people in the spirit realm, and they talk about you. Okay, so the way to communicate with this guy is like this. He's not very confident in this, but if you keep pushing him, he'll do it. So I think they get to know how to work with you, obviously as an individual, but because the spirit, there's a collective, and I think there's a universal mind in the spirit realm. Their knowledge is everyone else's knowledge. So think about them like that, that they're just coming to work with you, but they're just one small voice in this collective energy of the spirit, and they will help you. So they really see us as their voice, as the way that they can bring through evidence, that they can bring through healing, that they can bring through guidance, counsel, help. And they're grateful for that. So really feel that when you're working with the spirit world, that they are happy and they are so full of gratitude and joy. It's a joyous occasion. Okay, so hopefully that'll help a bit to just let people understand it's not just coming from our perspective. There's a whole world that we cannot see, but hopefully most of us feel, that's organized, that there's different societies of people, then they have jobs and they continue their evolution and progression once they leave the physical realm. And their job, I feel, or one of their main desires, is for us to have a good life. And they will help us in whatever way they need to work through us. And so all of these little, like your intuition, you feel inspired to do something within reason, in the context of helping other people, humanity, and the world, and all living beings, I suppose. Think about that as this like spirit whispers, and they're trying to get through to you, and they're trying to use you to help us. They want us to have the best life that we possibly can. They want us to be happy. They want us to have a good life, and they want us to understand that there's way more to life than what our five senses perceive. Okay, just going to quickly continue with this topic on doing it from the spirit world's perspective, and just flip it a minute and just talk about guides. Okay, so my attitude towards guides, if we're thinking about it from their view, right? even before I'm conceived, even before I'm in utero, I worked it out with my guides, who knows how long ago, that they will work with me. They've seen something in me, in my essence, that they're attracted to. There's an affinity there. So they're always watching, and they're always kind of near you. And when I'm born, I'm a child, they're watching, and they're slowly trying to awaken this agreement, because I do believe it's an agreement that we have with our guides. They're trying to awaken this remembrance of this agreement, of this contract, for lack of a better word, and start just slowly starting to inspire me to wake up. And they'll be patient, they'll wait, and they might be creative and start working with this child on creative matters, spiritual matters, perhaps, an interest for nature, for animals. They'll start to build all of this within this child, because to love and to respect nature and all living beings, that's the foundation for spirituality. I feel it's love for all life, and to want to help all life. But they're just waiting for the moment when they can hold on to you, place a hold on you, and start working through you, and start sort of pushing you to awaken spiritually. They will be with you when you have crises of faith, illness, your own illness, family illness, a loved one close to you that's passed, traumatic experiences, all of these things. When I think we do feel like we're alone, they will be with us and they will help us. So they're always watching us, and I believe they've been watching us way before we came into this physical realm, into this body. They're watching into everyone's body, but they're looking at the spirit, and they're looking at something, this affinity that there is between the medium and the guides, that they can then work through us and work with us, so they can continue their work from the spirit realm in the physical world. I do believe the guides that are working with you, they've all loved humanity. They've wanted to be of service. They want to help. And now that they can't do it in the physical realm anymore, because they don't have a physical presence here, they will do it with us and through us. And they're always there to help you. And they're also helping you with your mediumship. They're definitely helping you with your mediumship. So when you're doing a mediumship reading, if you are the nervous sort, ask them to calm you. Ask them to bring peace and love within your being, and you will feel this relaxing energy just move through you and over you like a wave. I believe that's your guide, one of your guides, and they will continue to work with you always. My guides, they will always sort of maintain order in readings that I'm doing if I've made a mess of it. Because if the reading is a mess, it's my fault. It's the medium's fault. There's nothing to do with the spirit communicator, the spirit realm. It's my fault. I'm scattered. I'm nervous. I'm not in my power. I'm not blending or linking correctly. But it's me. So I can I can really feel one of my guides, the one that I feel works with me with evidential, like rolling up his sleeves and saying, "All right, what sort of mess is this? Let's clean this up," and then everything will start to fall into place. And I can feel him. It's a very parental sort of energy, a bit cheeky, but that's sort of the guide that I need. Is sort of not sarcastic so much, but cheeky. That's the personality that I relate to the most. But everyone gets the sort of guides that they relate to. It might not be what you want, but it's what you need. But they're always watching you. And there's a story I'm totally going to paraphrase here, but it sort of drives my point home. Silver Birch. Silver Birch was the spirit guide Maurice Barbanel and spoke through Maurice Barbanel through trance mediumship, trance speaking. And Silver Birch was really cool and really quite interesting because the sitters could ask Silver Birch questions. They could ask Maurice Barbanel when he was in a trance state, the guide questions, and the guide would respond. So I believe they asked Silver Birch, the guide, when he became aware of his medium. And he said, I've always been aware of my medium, and I've been working with him from birth to inspire him, to awaken him, to help him. I've been there waiting and working with him under the surface through the subconscious when he wasn't even aware of it, but we were preparing him when we were waiting for the moment when someone spoke to Maurice Barbanel about this thing called spiritualism. He was invited to a home circle. He fell asleep, supposedly, and then the guide started to speak through him. And everyone in the circle was amazed. And then Maurice Barbanel woke up and he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I fell asleep. How embarrassing, how rude. And they were looking at him in shock. Like, you know what just happened? He just spoke for like an hour. And this Indian spoke through you, and it was of wisdom and counsel and guidance that we have not heard before. The level, the quality of it was so amazing. But they were just waiting for that moment to hold him, to embrace him, and start their sacred work here in the physical realm through the medium. But so I believe that everyone's guides, they're just waiting. They're doing things that we're not even aware of that might come through as coincidences, as inspiration, as intuition. But the more you understand that there are no coincidences in spirit work, and certainly inspiration and motivation and intuition are all connected to your subconscious. And I do believe that's part of your spirit, your subconscious, that they're all working through you and they're all helping you. And they will definitely help you with your mediumship. Someone asked me a few days ago, well, how many guides do we actually have? I've asked my team the same question, and they just laugh at me. They're like, you wouldn't understand. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of spirit people working with you. And that's sort of, with my tiny human mind, I kind of can't grasp onto that, but it sort of makes sense. If you're a medium, an evidential medium, and all of a sudden you start thinking about healing. Oh, I'd like to be a healer. I'll take some healing classes and start reading about healing and understand that healing comes through you, not of you. You understand there's like healing ministries with special beautiful spirit beings that just work on healing, to channel it through to the earth, to help humanity through vessels like us. You understand there's the mechanics to healing as well, and that you need to have faith, you need to have trust, and all of that. And then I feel that your healing guide starts to step forward. Not that they have not been there the whole time, but now they become quite dominant and they step forward, and then they start to work on you and with you. And it's all free will. If you decide, oh, I don't like healing, it's too passive, which is fine. Healing can be rather passive, and it just doesn't float your boat, and you prefer to do platform mediumship. I don't think your healing guide just packs up and jumps over to Mary. I think that energy, that spirit being, just moves back into the collective energy of the spirit, and they're always there waiting and perhaps doing other forms of healing with you that are more passive, which is fine. But I guess the whole point of this video is to drive home the point that these are people. Doesn't matter if they've passed 50 years ago, 20 years ago, more, 100, 200, 300, 400, thousands of years ago. It doesn't matter. These are people, and they want us to have the best life possible, and they want us to open ourselves up to them, to attune to them, to expand our sensitivity and awareness to them, to feel them, to build a relationship with them. And they're interested in us. They're interested in our lives. They want us to work with them, and they want us to allow them to work through us, because they can't do anything here without us. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I was inspired to just come on and talk about this. I could go on and on, but I don't like the videos to be too long. Yeah, I might do another spirit guide video at some point. Sorry, last point. If you see behind me, I always have these old pioneers of spiritualism pictures, because I'm a huge fan of reading about spiritualism. I believe all of these beautiful mediums who have really helped humanity and the spirit realm, that have really understood when they were here in the physical realm, that there is a life after death, and that they've changed the mindset, and they've cracked open the opportunity and the wisdom of the spirit realm to come through and work with us here. I believe all of these mediums, healers, pioneers, they're all still there, and they're all still mediums and working with us. I do believe that they are inspirers, and just because maybe a medium or two might work with you and maybe they were alive when you were born, it doesn't mean they can't be inspiring you now that they've passed, because their work continues. As I believe, when we pass, us mediums, us healers, when we pass to the spirit realm, we will also then find new mediums and new healers to inspire and help. Because what we're learning here through the pitfalls of self-healing, our own healing journey, all that stuff, which is no walk in the park for sure, but understanding our reactions, understanding that you get more from love than you do from judging people and being prejudiced towards certain people, intolerance, all of these things, that we are progressing and evolving, and that will continue after we pass, of course, but then we can then pay it forward, and when we can work with mediums and healers and spirit workers that are walking on earth and living in the physical realm. But the inspirers are also a very important part of my development. I have a few, and I believe that they also they have an affinity to me, the ones that work with me, because there's something in common. Maybe my education, maybe my mindset, maybe the sort of mediumship I aspire to do. But they're always there teaching me and working with me. And a few of them were teachers. So they're continuing to teach me. And I do believe that these mediums that have passed, when they get to the spirit realm, they're also working with the spirit world. And they're saying, no, well, we kind of understood when we were in the physical realm what you were trying to work through us in terms of evidence, but maybe you can change it up a bit, and maybe you can bring your power up more, and then the evidence will be better, because they're evolving as we evolve, as we learn and we move forward. So is the spirit realm. And that also goes for technology and everything. I do believe that the more of us that pass, that understand computers and Wi-Fi and signal, wireless signals, all of these things, I do believe that the spirit world is starting to work through electronics and work through wireless and protons and all of the holograms, things like that, more and more and more, because there are more of them in the spirit realm now that have that knowledge, and they will continue to evolve as we evolve. Anyway, I digress. Thank you very much. I appreciate you listening to this, and I hope it resonated with some of you. Have a good day. Bye.